Alright everyone, new week, new Odyssey. What have we got in store this time? Let's get rid of that. We probably won't need it. Primary hour. Can't go wrong with the basics. Okay. Okay, I like all of these maps. Well, another brick is okay, but it's not the worst map in the world. I don't suppose there's any real point into getting rid of all that. Ooh, who do we want as our hero? Well, let's actually look through the maps first, come to think of it. Hard Deflation, 20 to 50, easy. Hard Standard, 5 to 60, easy. Hard Impoppable on Hedge, 1 to 65, easy. Hard Cracked, double HP Moabs, 15 to 80, starting with 2100 though, easy. Another Brick Hard Standard, 1 to 80, no monkey knowledge. This is a nice looking Odyssey, right. Who do we want to bring with us? Gwen, Sai, and Azalea are probably really strong options. Ben, Quincy, and Churchill, I probably... Out of those three, I'd pick Ben every time. So let's pick Ben. Quincy would be my next option. Just because I do typically try and go for the towers on the cheaper side, and nothing's cheaper than Quincy. But I do also love making money. I'm like Mr. Krabs. That didn't look like a bomb shooter. Sorry, a dart monkey. Because I swear I clicked dart monkey there. Anyway, 5 darts, 4 of those. Is this just a preordained sort of thing? Or oh no, okay. Do we love glue gunners or ice monkeys more? Well, let's face it, we're not going to put down 4 of those. We're probably not going to put down 4 of those either. We're more likely to put down 4 of those than 3 of these though, so may as well. Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad there's not a whole lot of thinking involved for this Odyssey. At least not yet. But yeah, I don't know why, but I'm feeling Benjamin on this one. That's a terrible idea for this map. Oh well. What do we need? We need camo popping power, we need lead popping power, but that's it. We don't need camo lead. That'll be covered. So I'm thinking, well, that won't be needed, I should say. Bang bang. Bang bang. And then maybe I do go for like a boomer. Yeah, I like that better. I was gonna go for a recursive cluster, but I think I like the boomerang angle better. We're not even going to round 55, which to me signals, hey, guess what you don't need? Massive ceramic damage. So I think I'm happy with just these guys, honestly. Yeah. Should be a piece of cake. We'll see. Because the critical hits is what I'm mostly banking on to do a lot of the damage. But I've also brought the ability along just in case. Just in case shit hits the fan, you know? Also, I don't know if you guys have ever tried like these. What are they called? Chocolate flavored wafer sticks. They are quite amazing. They're literally just like a cylindrical wafer, but they're chocolate. And you can get other flavors as well. This is better for the angles. But my mum went and shopped at, what was it, Costco? Apparently we get those in Australia now, which is fucking weird, because we never used to get Aldi either, but now we've got both. But yeah, she went and shopped at Costco, and you need a motherfucking subscription to walk into that fucking place, which to me is a giant fucking red flag. paying money before I even go out shopping. But my sister had a subscription, so my mum went with her. So she found a loophole. But yeah, apparently people are ranting and raving about how many fucking amazing deals that you can get from Costco when you buy things in bulk. Essentially, what I think is happening is the classic shipping cost situation. So if you don't know what that means, essentially, if something costs like $5, but then it also costs $5 shipping, people are gonna be like, ew, no, that's fucking awful. I'm never gonna spend $5 on shipping. That's a terrible deal. But then those same motherfuckers will see the exact same thing that they wanted from before that now costs like $10, but it's free shipping. And they'll go, oh, that's a good deal. Or even if the price was raised a little bit, they'll go $11 but free shipping. It's like, oh, that's a good deal. Just because the shipping is an additional cost. And so people see that and they don't like it, right? But that's the thing with subscriptions. The additional cost is there, but it's sort of tucked away, you know? It's like, oh, it's a monthly thing. You only have to worry about it once a month instead of like every purchase, right? So if you go, oh yeah, I think I'll try a subscription to Costco or Netflix or Stan or anything like that. If you're not actively paying attention to that and watching the money leave your account, you're gonna probably stop using Netflix or Stan or shopping at Costco, and it'll still be draining money from you. You're not even using the service, but you're still losing money out. Anyway, my point is, I feel like people think Costco is an amazing service and like, you know, you get amazing prices and shit. But first of all, Australia is in a kind of economic living fucking crisis at the moment, where the price of everything is rising drastically and nobody fucking knows why. What did they call it? A cost of living crisis? So essentially, shit's really expensive, and that sucks for everyone. But yeah, so because shit's really expensive everywhere, and Costco comes in and says, hey, if you just give us a little bit of a subscription, you know, 10% knockdown on everything you'd see in every other shop. And you'd be like, oh my god, score! I get 10% off everything! But then it's like, no. On average, that 10% probably comes straight out of that subscription. You know? Some people would, you know, and because again, it's bulk buying, right? So you'll probably only get a good chunk of that as like a decent discount if you bulk buy. Which means, buy a shitload now, don't have to shop for like a few weeks, then all of a sudden, you're not making as much use of that subscription as when you first initially thought about it. And hey presto, it's probably the same price as every other place that you can shop at for free. I don't know why I immediately went on this just fucking rant, apparently. But, oh, that's why. These... This seems a little, counterintuitive to keep going with at the moment. Anyway, these fucking chocolate stick wafers are fucking delicious. But yeah, that was essentially my point. Probably not worth it in terms of having to shop at a place that tells you, hey, guess what? Pay us money to even walk in here. You know, that's a bit fucking dodgy. But outside of that, sure. Chocolate wafer things are delicious. I'll just buy them at Coles or Woolies instead. Give those demons my money. Alright, I hate how... I hate how inefficient these tack shooters can be. You know, I just hate that they can't realistically target balloons very well. You know, every now and then, with just unfortunate timing, a green balloon would probably leak. You know, so let's get some normalcy in here with a Dart Monkey. Good stuff, good stuff. By the way, for those who hadn't seen my my new update video, don't bother watching it. I'll give you all the good bits now. The next two updates are the ones you're looking forward to. We're talking new hero, and we're talking a new water-based monkey slash tower. Tower, I guess. Oh, actually, Ben got nerfed in the early game in the last update, didn't he? Pretty sure he did. It doesn't look like they've changed his text, because I know it's not 150 anymore. Not that soon, anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they nerfed Ben this update. Well, they nerfed him in the early game, but made him much more viable in the late game. I'm talking like to the point where he's bringing in 5,000 bucks per round. And yeah, that's a legitimate thing. Don't get me wrong. He's like approaching level 20 at that point, but still. I don't know. Oh no, one life. Oh well.
Game over, man. Yeah.
It's game over, man. Yeah, see, he just made 80 bucks. Normally, he would be making 100. So they have swapped his changes around. They have nerfed his early game, buffed his late game. But they obviously haven't swapped the text around because I just made 80 bucks. On hard difficulty, that's not even half cash. So, it'll take a bit of time before they can reflect that, I imagine, but that is what they plan on changing.
Level up.
So it's something like, I don't know, $50 per round, no, $80 per round as it was there. And then it's like $100 per round at the usual $150 mark. Am I right? Oh no, it's 120. Okay, 120 is not awful, but certainly not great. It's going to take a while to actually pay Benjamin off now. Let's get another one. But yeah, so early game Ben kind of sucks a bit more. Late game Ben, you know, more viable than just hitting his abilities. Because let's be honest, late game Ben, that was all he was useful for. The first ability if you needed a slight attack buff, but honestly it wasn't that great. And then the second ability if you're taking on things that you just want to turn into very baby, tiny, pathetic, weak little balloons instead.
Online.
Online. Anyway, it's looking decent so far. Ha!
Target.
Got him. Here we go. Now we're getting the skimming in. The skimming, I think, is unaffected. So skimming will still earn a nice amount. Not saying it'll be a great amount, but it'll be nice. That's what's wrong. I can hear Benjamin. Of course. How silly of me. Usually I mute those guys instantly, but because of the new update, and of course the new Geraldo skin, I had to hear the new fancy gentleman monkey in all of his beautiful glory. He does have an amazing voice. I won't lie. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I think we'll still go for the same strat. With the boomerang being our lead popper. I like that. Yeah. Decent consistency. Throw the other way. I'd rather you hit the things that are coming back. Pop, pop, pop. There we go. Now we're cooking with some sort of gas. Wait a minute. I just realized. This is a primary monkey Odyssey. And yet, none of the actual game modes chosen were primary monkeys only. That's just weird. Like, if it were me, I'd make maybe the first two. You know what would be a good setting? Is price increases for individual subsets of towers, right? So you don't necessarily have to do, you know, primary monkeys only, but primary monkeys only will cost the default amount, everything else will cost like 20% extra, right? I like that, because you can still make some maps primary monkeys only, but all the other maps, you don't necessarily have to, but it would be heavily beneficial to do it. Because, you know, something about a primary monkeys only Odyssey without primary monkeys only game mode just seems a bit, not redundant, but ironic, I guess. You know, because I guess it's sort of the same thing as making every map primary monkeys only. But I don't know. I guess redundant would be the right word then. To make every map primary monkeys only instead of just eliminating all other monkeys and just having the Odyssey the way it is. Luckily we don't have to deal with 63, but we do have to deal with 59, which means we're either gonna need an ice monkey or a top path dart monkey crossed with the bottom path. Either way though, shouldn't be too strenuous. Ooh, we could also go for a crossbow master and just ignore both of those other options. I'd be down for that. But yeah, work today, not terrible. Not terrible, but it was very suspicious, right? Because the previous day, my boss sent me a message saying, hey, do you want to rock up later when the rest of the team shows up to work? And I'll do all the morning startup stuff. And I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. Because normally, like, because my boss only came back the other day. Right? So, he was still pretty fresh off of his holiday. And so I was like, okay, sure, weird, but fine. I immediately assumed that what that meant was, you're coming in slightly later, which means you can stay slightly later, which means I can teach you a bunch more responsibilities that I don't have to do anymore if you learn it, type thing, right? So that's what I immediately assumed. I just always assume my boss is scheming something, because let's face it, they always are. They won't tell you all the time that they're scheming something, but if they're making deals that sound really nice, like, hey, you can sleep in today, you know something's up. You know something's fucking weird. Anyway, yeah, today went surprisingly well. I didn't have to stay back and learn anything. As far as I'm aware, I didn't learn anything. Oh god, what if they gave me some amnestics? So I just don't know if I learned anything. Either way, I haven't learned it, so sucks to be them. Anyway. But yeah, today went well. I found out later on, like midway through the day, that my boss just wanted to see, and I quote, how long the startup in the morning should take, right? Like how much time it takes to get everything ready in the morning for the team to rock up and get started on time, no issues, right? And he said something along the lines of 43 minutes. And I was like, okay. Like, don't get me wrong, I heard this as a second-hand thing. I heard this from my friend who was talking to the boss. And so it was just like 43 minutes. And then I was like, huh, really? And then my friend said, yeah, but he didn't do this, or that. And he did do this, but there was only like a handful of it remaining. So he may as well have not done it at all, because I'm gonna have to do it. And I was like, so what you're telling me is our boss is incompetent. And I was like, huh, yeah, that checks out. Anyway, I also found out that he missed out a bunch of stuff that could have really helped me and a lot of the other workers if he had just bothered to do it. So I'm taking his 43 minutes and adding like an extra 30. Just to be sure. Anyway, that's been Primary Hour Part 1. Wow, we blazed through that. As usual, Part 2 will be coming out tomorrow with these last 3 maps. So there you go. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.